Assalamualaikum and good day to each and everyone. Today, I am Narhana K. Omal, and today I will going to discuss the lesson 19, which is the digital or cyber literacy. So, in this lesson is matatakol natin yung mga digital and cyber literacy na very important, important topic, especially ngayon because halos lahat ng tao or tayo ng mga tao is gumagamit na ng internet, mga social media, gadgets, at iba't ibang online platforms every day. So now, let's proceed with the overview. In this overview is madidiscuss natin yung meaning ng digital literacy, cyber security, cyber citizenship, internet safety, at cybercrime. And kasama rin dito yung kung paano natin malaman kung credible ba yung information online at paano umiwas sa mga plagiarism. So in short, this lesson will help us become smarter and safer internet users. So here's our learning outcomes. So ayan, we have 3 learning outcomes. Just shortly lang because wala naman tayo in personal. So next one is the digital literacy. So direct ko na siya because para mas maintindihan natin. So first is digital literacy. Kapag sinabi natin digital literacy, ito yung kakayahan natin gumamit ng digital devices and technology ng maayos and responsible. Hindi lang ito simpleng paggamit ng mga cellphone or laptop. Kasama rin dito yung communication, paggawa ng research, paghanap ng tamang information, at tamang paggamit ng technology sa school, either sa school, sa works, o sa daily life natin. Kasi kahit marunong tayong gumamit ng gadgets, importante pa rin na alam natin kung paano ito gamitin ng tama. So that is digital literacy. Next is cyber literacy. Cyber literacy ay pagiging aware sa effect ng actions natin through online. Halimbawa, dapat alam natin kung safe ba yung website na pinapasukan natin, kung legit ba yung information na nakikita natin, at kung ano yung mga possible consequences ng mga pinopost or mga sinashares natin through online. So, ibig sabihin, hindi lang basta paggamit ng internet yung dapat ginagawa natin. Dapat responsable at aware din tayo habang nag-online. Kumaga conscious. Next one is the evaluating online information and digital ethics. So nowadays, sobrang daming information online kaya importante talaga na marunong tayo mag-evaluate kung ano yung totoo at fake. Hindi lahat ng nakikita natin sa internet is reliable or credible. So kaya dapat marunong tayo mag-check ng sources bago tayo maniwala or mag-share ng information through online. So part din ng digital ethics yung pagiging honest and respectful sa paggamit ng online information sa internet. So this is the common credibles na makikita natin that .gov na galing sa government websites, .edu or galing sa educational institution, .org or organizations na that is some common credible URLs na makikita natin through online. So next one is the plagiarism in the digital age. So first is clone plagiarism. So when we say clone plagiarism, ito yung pinaka-direct na type ng plagiarism kasi kinokopya talaga natin word for word yung original work ng ibang tao without changing anything on them. Tapos inaangkin natin na sariling gawa natin yon. So halimbawa, may nakita tayong article online tapos kinopya natin lahat at pinasa natin as our own work. So mali yun siya. Kasi wala tayong sariling effort at hindi tayo nagbigay ng credit sa original author or original source ng information na yon. Next is remix plagiarism. Remix plagiarism is dito naman kumukuha tayo ng information from different sources. So, pinagsasama-sama natin sa isang output without proper citation. So, parang nag-combine lang tayo ng isang ideas galing sa iba't ibang website pero hindi natin sinabi kung saan natin kinuha yon. So kahit pinaghalo-halo pa yan ng mga information, plagiarism pa rin ang tawag doon kapag walang proper credit. Next is CTRL plagiarism. So, isa itong napakalaking part ng text o yung CTRL plus C plagiarism naman is isang malaking part ng text from one source yung kinopya natin directly without any changes. So basically, kina-copy-paste talaga siya. Yes. Halimbawa, may isang paragraph ka nakita online tapos kinopya natin agad sa assignment natin or sa work natin sa academic. So, wala tayong citation nun. So, ito is very common. Yes, I actually do this. Hindi ako lalagay ng mga citation sa mga kinakopy kong work sa FB kasi nakakalimutan ko. And now I know na matatawag pala yun siyang plagiarism or CTRL plus plagiarism. So this is very common especially sa student dahil madaling gawin ito siya through online. Yes. Next one is the hybrid plagiarism. Ito naman yung gumagamit ng properly cited sources pero may ibang copied parts na walang citation. So, parang mix lang din siya but may tamang citation pero may parts na kinopya lang din without acknowledging the source. Yes, and kaya kahit may citation ka, considered plagiarism pa rin kapag may hidden copied content ka. For example is, yung content is dalawa, yung information. So, hindi, yung isa is nilagyan mo ng citation, tas yung isa is hindi mo naman nilagyan ng citation. So, that is hybrid plagiarism. Next one is the find replace plagiarism. Ang final place plagiarism naman is kapag binalitan lang yung ibang words or synonyms pero same pa rin yung structured at ang main idea ng original content. So halimbawa is pinalitan natin yung ibang words para magmukhang original pero halos pareho pa rin ng sentence construction doon sa kinapi natin. So kahit may konting changes, plagiarism pa rin siya kapag walang proper citation. And that is. Next one is recycled plagiarism. So, recycled plagiarism is, ito naman yung paggamit ng sarili mong previous work without proper citation. Sarili mong work. So, halimbawa, may old assignment ka last semester tapos, pinasa mo ulit as bagong output nang hindi mo sinasabing reuse work mo yan siya. So, kahit sarili mong gawa yan, kailangan pa rin ng proper acknowledgement. Next is mash-up plagiarism. Sa mash-up plagiarisms naman is kumukuha tayo ng information from multiple sources tapos pinagsasama-sama natin without citing any of them. Parang pinagdudugtong mo lang yung iba't ibang ideas online para makagawa ng isang document. Kahit maraming sources ang ginamit, plagiarism pa rin kapag walang proper references or proper citations. So that next one is the 404 error plagiarism. Dito is may proper citation na nga. Pero mali naman o hindi existing yung source na yon or yung citation na yon. So halimbawa naglagay ka ng references pero fake links yun siya. Or broken website or either hindi or neither hindi talaga mahanap yung source na yon. So kahit mukhang may citation, considered plagiarism pa rin siya dahil inaccurate yung references or hindi siya mahanap sa online. So yun yung 404L plagiarism. Next is aggregator plagiarism. Ang aggregator plagiarism naman is kapag puro citations lang ang ginawa pero wala namang sariling analysis or original ideas doon sa information na yan. So halimbawa nangolekta ka ng maraming information from different sources pero wala kang sariling explanation or contribution doon sa topic na yon. So, parang compilation lang siya na gawa ng iba, tapos hindi ka naman lang nagdagdag kahit isang words. So, then last one is retweet plagiarism. Lastly, retweet plagiarism is ito naman yung well-cited naman yung work pero sobrang similar rin sa original in terms of wording, yung structured, or yung flow nung topic na yun. So, kahit na-mention mo yung source, kapag halos pareho pa rin yung pagkakasulat at dating ng content, plagiarism pa rin siya. Kaya importante na marunong tayong mag-paraphrase properly at maglagay ng sarili nating understanding doon. So overall, lahat ng types of plagiarisms na ito ay nagpapakita ng importanteng mga message sa atin na dapat maging honest, dapat meron din tayong originality or authenticity, at pagiging responsible sa mga gawa natin for events either sa schoolworks man yan or any content online. So, hindi sapat na basta lang kumuha ng information at hindi tayo naglagay ng citation. So, next one is tips to avoid plagiarism. So, in tips to avoid plagiarism is, hindi ko na siya babasahin lahat but we have 8. So, hindi ko na yun siya i-explain kasi very understandable naman that according to turnitin.com, suggests some techniques to avoid plagiarism that teachers and researchers and students should know. First is read and understand the original document several times before start explaining about it. Very self-explanatory. Do not copy any word or sentence from the original content. Alhamdulillah. Give proper citation to all sources, even from book, journal, website, video, or etc. In case of citing online sources, include the retrieval date and appropriate URL in the reference. Common phrases and definition needs to be quoted and cited without any modification, and make a practice to include the references section where you write an academic document, and cross-verify all your citations before submitting your document, and lastly, resort to available plagiarism software to ensure the originality of the written document. So that is the tips to avoid plagiarism. Next one is terms in digital literacy. So first is cybersecurity. When we say cybersecurity is, ang cybersecurity ay pinoprotektahan niya yung mga computers, mga devices, networks at personal information laban sa hackers, mga viruses, at mga online attackers. Yes. So halimbawa nito ay yung paggamit natin ng mga strong passwords, pag-iwas sa mga suspicious links, at pag-install ng antivirus software para maprotektahan natin yung accounts or information natin sa online. Next is cyber citizenship. When we say cyber citizenship is pagiging responsable or responsible, and also pagiging respectful na internet user. Na dapat marunong tayong respeto sa mga ibang online o ibang tao sa online, umiwas sa mga hate comments, at maging careful din naman tayo sa mga pinopost natin or mga sinishare natin na content sa Facebook. Kasi once na may na-post online is mahirap na itong bawiin or mahirap na itong maalis sa mga alaala ng mga tao. Next one is this internet safety. Means pagiging careful habang gumagamit ng internet. So, kailangan natin protektahan yung mga personal information natin tulad ng mga passwords, address, at contact details. Dapat din na umiwas tayo sa mga talking to the strangers online at huwag basta-basta mag-click ng mga suspicious links. Na last one is the illegal activities done through the internet such as hacking, phishing, and spreading viruses. So meaning is ginagamit ang internet or technology for cybercrime or mga illegal na mga activities. So example nito is hacking, mga phishing, identity theft, at pagkakalat ng computer viruses. So, nakakasira ito ng privacy at security ng mga tao kaya dapat aware tayo kung paano ito maiiwasan. So, next one is the cyber stalking or the common threats to personal safety. When we say cyber stalking is kapag may paulit-ulit na naghaharas or nagmamonitor o nanggugulo sa isang tao through online hanggang nagdulot ito ng fear or discomfort sa tao is matatawag yun na cyberstalking. So halimbawa nito ay yung sobra-sobrang pagme-message, pagbabanta or pag-track ng activities ng isang tao sa online. So yun yung halimbawa ng cyberstalking, yung pagta-track kung saan siya, kung ano ba yung ginagawa niya, or pagme-message or pagbabanta through online. Next is cyberbullying. So, this is very self-explanatory and common din naman natin. Common din na alam natin na pagbubuli gamit ang internet or social media platform. So, halimbawa is yung panginsulto, pagpapahiya, or pagpapakalat ng mga fake rumors or information, or pananakot through online. Next is online predation. When we say online predation ay ito yung mga dangerous online interaction kung saan may adults na tina-target ang young people for harmful purposes. Kaya importante talaga na huwag tayo basta magtitiwala sa strangers online at huwag agad mag-share ng personal information. So, the parents should be very responsible for taking their child carefully on this because mga young people yung mga target ng mga online predation na ito. Next one is the offensive content. So, very self-explanatory din yung offensive yung content na may mga inappropriate or mga disturbing or mga hateful messages either a videos, images online. So, minsan nakaka-apekto din to sa emotion at mental health ng tao, lalo na kapag violent or harmful yung content na yon. So, 'di ba makikita natin sa mga online or content online creator na minsan may inappropriate na silang ginagawa. So, binabash sila ng mga tao. Next one is this sextortion. When we say sextortion is pananakot or manipulation para makakuha ng private pictures, videos, or personal information ng isang tao. So, usually ginagamit ito para takutin or i-blackmail yung victim. So, kaya dapat maging maingat tayo sa pag-share ng private content natin sa online. So, ito yung pagba-blackmail ng isang tao sa'yo through online. Next is cyber citizenship. So, natakod na natin yung cyber citizenship na ito yung pagiging responsible, respectful, and careful use natin ng technology. And also, it includes showing good behavior online, protecting personal information, and using digital platforms in a positive way. So now, let's proceed to the 10 Commandments of Teacher Cyber Citizenship. So, dito naman is, dapat in this slide is makikita natin yung mga behavior or mga teachers and professionals na dapat nilang ma-attain. So, importante ito para mapanatili yung professionalism, respect, and privacy habang gumagamit ng technology at social media. So, first one is, thou shall not post personal, confidential, or inappropriate content online that students or parents can access. So, very self-explanatory. Hindi ko na siya i-expand. Thou shall not entertain personal messages from students online except for school-related matters. Thou shall not allow students to use your cell phone. And number 4, thou shall not share your email or account passwords with students. Number 5 rather, thou shall always give proper credit to authors when using their ideas or information. Number 6 is thou shall not post students' photos online without their parent consent. And 7, thou shall not use social media to express complaints or negative comments about superiors, colleagues, students, or parents. Number 8, Thou shalt not copy or use online information without proper citation and permission. And number 9, thou shalt not share personal or private information of others without consent. And number 10, the last one is thou shalt not post students' records, grades, or academic data publicly online because those are the confidential information from the students. So yan yung mga dapat or mga commandments na dapat ma-attain or meron si teacher and also the students. So that's it for my topic. Thank you for listening and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.